Oh, Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. We have a little bit of a sunny day situation outside, which is exciting. Today we are going to try a thing. Sorry as always if you can hear construction noises outside. Today we're going to be trying out the powder under foundation technique. Now, this is nothing new. Jackie Aina has been talking about this for years and years and years, and it's been used by pro artists as well. And I always thought it was a really clever idea, but I was like, absolutely not on my dry skin. But lately I've been seeing a lot of people with dry skin, especially like on TikTok, it's been going around, doing a bit of a modified step for this thing, and they say it works for them. Now, I have like extremely dry skin, so we shall see if this works, but I'm gonna try it. I was originally gonna do kind of like a half and half sort of situation, but I just think that it's not going to look as good. And I actually have to go places and see people and stuff today, and I don't want to be looking mismatched on both sides of my face. So anyway, so I'm just gonna do my whole face. I'm gonna use products that I'm pretty familiar with, and I know how my foundation wears throughout the day, and we'll see if there's any difference. So I'm gonna start out with moisturizer. I put some on earlier, but it was a while ago, so I've been using the Milk Makeup vegan moisturizer. It's really nice. I like it quite a bit actually. It's really hydrating. So I'm gonna throw some of that on. So the technique that I'm going to be following is Makeup by Maritsa, I think is her handle.
Hey guys, Editing Carolyn here, so it's actually Makeup by Maritsa. I'm so sorry I continue to say this wrong. Clearly I cannot read. Okay, back to the video.
I saw her little TikTok on this. So what we're going to do first is apply our moisturizer than I thought it was gonna be, but it is relatively newer to me, so this is the one product that is a little bit newer to me. I have some breakouts going on right now. Don't know what that's about. It's frankly very disrespectful, but it's, you know, it's okay. Okay, so next I'm gonna go in with the Sunbum Mineral SPF. This is just the SPF I've been using. So the next step that Makeup by Maritsa said was really important is doing a primer. So this is the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. This is one of the only ones that I use when I do use primer. So, and I think Jackie talks about using primer too. I think she likes the Hydro Grip. I don't love that one, so I'm gonna use this one. And the idea is that it sort of creates a barrier between your skin and the foundation, so you still get all the hydration from your moisturizer. I haven't had sunlight in a while, so the lighting being this bright is throwing me off so much. Okay, so now that my face is nice and hydrated, we are gonna do the frightening part, which is put powder on my face. Now, oftentimes I don't use powder at all for my foundation, so this is going to be fun, but I do notice, you know, foundation does break down around my nose and kind of in between my forehead throughout the day, so maybe this will help prevent that. We shall see. So I'm going to be using a foundation that I know that I like, but is not particularly long lasting on me, and that's the Fenty Hydrating Foundation. I really like how this one looks, but it does tend to break down rather quickly throughout the day. So I'm going to try that and see if this technique helps it wear any better. So for powder, I'm going to be going in with the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. And I'm just gonna put that on my face a little bit, and I'm gonna put some around my nose. Oh God. Now, for the purposes of this experiment, I think I am gonna do my whole face, but probably if I were to repeat this, I would do just sort of the center areas, because that's where my makeup tends to break down. And I know like Jackie and a lot of other people go in a little bit heavier, but I'm gonna do a pretty light layer. And this powder is generally the best on my skin. It doesn't look too matte. It does have a little bit of a blurring effect though, which is nice. And that's the one thing I do like about powders, is they sometimes can just sort of like smooth over pores and stuff like that, but they just end up looking really dry on me a lot of the times. So I don't know, we'll see if this technique works. I'm not gonna do any under my eyes because that would be crust fill. Okay, so right now, like, my skin doesn't look bad. It looks fairly matte, but it's not like crazy or anything like that. The next step that Makeup by Maritsa did was a dewy setting spray, and I thought that was a really great idea for dry skin. So I'm gonna be going in with the Farsali Rose Gold Skin Mist. It's not my favorite, but it's the one I have right now. So I'm just gonna spray that. And I'm gonna let that sink in. I think I'm gonna tap that in with the Beauty Blender too. This is generally what I would do after foundation. All right, so once that kind of settles in and de-powders my face, so to speak, then we're just gonna go in with our foundation. And that's all she wrote, really. So I'm gonna take the Fenty Hydrating Foundation and put a little bit, whoop, on my hand here. I think a sponge is the best way to do it. I feel like a brush would look weird. Oh, this is, oh. Okay, all right, we're gonna keep going. It's looking pretty crusty McDusty. Well, this looked really horrible at first, but now it's actually looking okay. Interesting. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit for the other side. So what happened on this side, at least, was that when I first started blending it in, it looked like hideous and it was like patching up, but then I actually got it to smooth out and it looks pretty dang nice. So, okay, let's try the other side. So like I feel like it's not gonna blend at first. Here's the thing. From a normal distance and like on camera, this looks pretty dang good, if I'm being honest. But when you get really up close, so it just looks a bit heavy. Hopefully you can see with the camera and everything. It just looks a bit cakey, if I'm being honest. Especially like through here, it just looks like a absolute crust fest in here. This side doesn't look too bad, surprisingly, but in here, it's just, oh God, it's so crusty. Around my nose, it's actually not looking too bad. It's looking a little dry, but not like horrendous. But yeah, I just don't know, guys. Should we try adding more? Why not? Okay, adding some more foundation actually kind of worked. All right, so I'm gonna try, let's see, I'm gonna put on some concealer to conceal. This is like a super hydrating concealer. This is the Tarte Creaseless. And I'm going to try to cover these pimples as well. Okay, so I have my concealer on and it's all blended and stuff. I just don't know about this one. Okay, so the pros are, I do feel like it looks like more coverage somehow, and I do feel like it's not, the foundation wasn't slipping and sliding as much when I was trying to blend like around my nose. I feel like the product hung on there pretty well, and I don't mind the way it looks on my nose. Again, it's like a little bit dry, but it's not bad. I think it was easier to like cover my acne spots because the foundation again was like clinging a little bit more. But there's just certain areas where it just looks crusty. Like down here, it looks really, really dry and cakey. Surprisingly, it looks better on this side than this side. I don't know why. Kind of around my chin, it's looking pretty dang cakey as well. I don't know, we're just gonna have to see how this wears. I think it looks passable enough that I'm still gonna wear it throughout the day. I'm gonna try doing a little bit more dewy setting spray. A lot more dewy setting spray, and see if that helps with it looking crusty at all. Maybe a little. I'm just gonna do a very gentle tippity tap. It's just doing that thing when you put liquid over powder that's not at all cute or nice to look at. I get the appeal. I get why people do it. I don't know if it's for me, we shall see. So I'm gonna go finish up the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be back to kind of show you how it looks with a full face on. And then we're gonna go throughout my day and see if this wears well. Okay guys, rest of my makeup is on, and look, I'm not upset with it from like a normal human distance, but it definitely looks way more matte than I typically like, which I mean is the point. So I don't know really what I expected. So I just went in with some Fenty bronzer in Shady Biz, and then I kept the highlight and blush cream to kind of give a little more hydration, and so I did the Milk Makeup holographic stick in Mars, and then the Ilia multi-stick in Ladybird. And then side note, I've really been liking this Urban Decay Vice like lip stain. It works pretty well. This is in the shade Physique. You never know like what it's gonna look like until you put these on their lips. Like they don't swatch the way that they look on the lips, but it's a really pretty, just like natural, like flushed lipped color. I really like it. But anyway, let's zoom in a little bit so I can show you what the foundation looks like. But it just looks really makeup-y and matte and heavy and cakey on my skin. I don't think it's necessarily gonna show on camera, but in person it just looks really heavy, which is not the look that I typically go for. But I understand why people do this, if that makes sense. With this technique though, the cool thing is that if it works on some areas of your face but it doesn't on others, you can totally customize it versus like having to get like different foundations or whatever. My upper lip's looking a little dry and crusty too. Yeah, just overall not great. Just looks pretty heavy and makeup-y. But we're gonna see how it wears throughout the day, because if it really helps the wear time, I might consider doing this on just certain areas of my face. But as of right now, I definitely wouldn't put this on my whole face again. I think this is definitely a technique that's more suited for oily skin, which is sort of what I thought in the first place. I just figured I would try it out for all of you dry skin gals. I'm gonna do one more spritz of my dewy setting spray before I head off for my day. It's 10:50 now. Oh dang. But I finished up with the base makeup at like 9:45. It just, time got away, man. I haven't just been doing my makeup that whole time. I got dressed and did stuff and whatnot. But anyways, whatever. So we're gonna call the time, check-in time, 9:45. So I'm gonna try to check in with you in a few hours, and then later again tonight. It's gonna be a busy day. I'm running errands, I'm going into work, and then I am going to the gym because I've been working out. Yeah. And so I will check in with you guys a little bit later. Hello guys, it is 9:58 p.m. I'm so sorry I was not able to do a midday check-in. I ended up being at work a lot later than I thought I was gonna be, and then I went to the gym, so I'm tired. In terms of this technique, here's the thing. I think it technically did work. I think that the foundation stayed on a lot longer than it normally does, and you could even still see like my bronzer and blush as well, which normally will fade throughout the day. So because it's been 12 hours. It did hold up. However, that does not mean it looks good. So let me just zoom you in so you can really see what this looks like. The lighting's a little better now as well. We're just looking real crusty. You can see like all around my mouth here. Super cakey looking. The nose, honestly, it's not great, but it's not the worst I've ever seen. My smile lines are really emphasized. It just looks all around cakey, and it's looked like that pretty much all day. And then like right in the center of my forehead, you can really see that caking up in there. So yeah, it doesn't look good. So I could see this technique working really well on oily skin, because I do think it kept the makeup on longer. It's just that like I don't produce enough oil to compensate for the powder, and so it just ends up looking really cakey and dry. And it did get worse throughout the day. I think probably at about the like 5-hour mark. So I just don't think that this technique is for me. What I might try is one with like an even dewier foundation, and two with like my full skin prep, because today I only did moisturizer and sunscreen. And normally in the morning I do an oil as well, so maybe that and then just absorbing the excess in certain areas might work. I don't know. I would definitely not try this technique all over my face. Again, if I were to try it again, I would just try it maybe on my nose, because my nose always looks bad at the end of the day, and it looks like not great, but like the redness isn't showing through as much, so maybe that's good. I don't know. And the other areas where I might try it is like over blemishes, because I do think it helped the foundation stay on the blemish, and I always have to put powder on when I'm covering a blemish or else the foundation doesn't really stick. But I do think it looks slightly better underneath versus over top. So, in conclusion, it's a really, really cool technique. I think it's really effective. I don't really think that it's necessary or suitable for dry skin. I know for me what works a lot better is just doing a long-lasting foundation without any powder, and that I think looks a lot better at the end of the day, because while this maintained the coverage, the texture just looks really heavy and makeup-y, and it also feels really heavy and makeup-y, and I'd much prefer it to fade a little bit rather than to have this on my face. So yeah, this may be something I try with my oily clients, because I do think it's a cool technique. And again, it's something Jackie Aina has been talking about for years and pro MUAs have been doing for years. I just wanted to try it out and see if possibly it would work on my dry skin, but I just think it's a no-go. If you have dry skin and this technique works for you, let us know what you do down below to make this work for you. Yeah, I think that is everything. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Helps me out a lot, and I will see you all again soon. Okay, bye. Okay, just like a super like lo-fi-ing airplane, and it like shook the apartment. Okay, the construction noises are very loud. Okay, so, oh, they're staring at me. Oh, awkward. Okay, to kind of show you how you look, I'm gonna pluck out this gigantic mustache here real quick, don't mind me.